All right, let's talk about something big. A 50-year mortgage. Yeah, you heard that right. It's this proposal that could totally flip the housing market on its head. So today, we're going to break down what this actually means for you, for your wallet, and really, for the whole idea of owning a home. Let's dive in. So let me just start by asking this. And it's a bit of a crazy question. Could you imagine having a mortgage that you're still paying off when you're, well, a lot older? A loan that might actually outlive you? This isn't some hypothetical concept anymore. It's a real thing being seriously discussed. Yep, you heard me. A 50-year mortgage plan has been announced. So in this explainer, we're going to cut through all the noise. We'll get into what this really means, why on earth it's being proposed right now, and unpack the pretty intense debate it's already kicking up. Okay, so you're probably wondering why? Why a 50-year mortgage? I mean, where did this idea even come from? Well, to really get the proposed solution, you first have to get the problem. And right now, the problem is a massive affordability squeeze that's just slamming the door on so many people who want to buy a house. Right now, the housing market is, well, it's caught in a perfect storm. You've got interest rates that have just shot through the roof. That makes it way harder to even qualify for a mortgage in the first place. And for the people who do qualify, the monthly payments can be absolutely crushing. So what's the result of all this? Home sales are plummeting because affordability has just hit a brick wall. So you put all that together and what do you get? A major housing affordability issue. I mean, it's a full-blown crisis. That traditional 30-year mortgage, the one our parents and grandparents used, it's just becoming a fantasy for so many people. It's simply out of reach, especially when you see how much home prices have grown compared to, what people are actually earning. Okay, so that's the problem. It's a big one. So what's the big idea to fix it? Let's get into the nitty-gritty of how this 50-year mortgage would actually work. What does it really mean to stretch a home loan over an extra 20 years? The core idea is actually pretty simple. Instead of paying off your house in the standard 30 years, you'd spread those payments out over a full 50 years, a half century. You can kind of think of it like this. You're taking a much smaller bite of the apple each month, but you're going to be taking those bites for a long time. And the primary goal here? It's all about one thing, making those monthly payments more manageable for buyers. The whole idea is that by stretching the loan out, that huge, scary monthly payment gets a lot smaller. And, in theory, that opens the door to homeownership for a whole bunch of people who are just completely priced out right now. But, of course, it's never that simple, is it? An idea this radical comes with a massive trade-off. There are some really compelling pros for sure, but there are also some pretty serious cons we need to talk about. So let's flip the coin over and look at both sides. Okay, so here's the number one selling point, right here. The monthly payment. By stretching out the loan, your payment every month goes way down. And we're not talking about like 20 bucks. This could be hundreds of dollars less each month. For a lot of families, that is literally the difference between being able to buy a home and being stuck renting. And here's the catch. It's a big one. The total interest you pay. Because you're making payments for an extra 20 years, the total amount of interest you hand over to the bank just skyrockets. It's a huge number. So yeah, you save a bit each month, but you could end up paying tens, maybe even hundreds of thousands of dollars more over the entire life of the loan. Ouch. So let's zoom out a bit and look at the bigger picture. For you, the homeowner, the pro is obvious. More financial breathing room every single month. The con? You're taking on way more long-term debt, and building up that valuable equity in your home happens at a snail's pace. Now for the market as a whole, sure, more buyers could give the economy a nice little boost. But what's the flip side? Well, if people are locked into these super long loans, they might stay in their homes longer. And that could actually mean fewer homes go up for sale, making the housing shortage we already have even worse. So what happens next? Where do we go from here? Well, right now, the whole idea is sparking a really intense debate among the experts, and they have two very, very different ideas about how this could all play out. On one side of the ring, you've got the optimists. These experts are saying, look, in the world we live in now, this is a necessary step. They see it as a creative solution, a tool that could finally make the dream of owning a home possible again for all the people who've been locked out. But then in the other corner, you have the critics. And they are sounding some serious alarm bells. They're calling it a recipe for disaster. They argue that this is just a band-aid, it doesn't fix the real problems, like the fact that we just don't have enough houses. And they're worried it could create a whole new set of even bigger problems down the road. And this is what's so wild. The experts are completely split on what would happen to home prices. Some think, oh, more buyers will flood the market and prices will go up even more. But others think it could do the exact opposite. So the bottom line is, nobody really knows. The only thing they agree on is that it's a huge unknown. But here's the thing, no matter which side you're on, one thing is for sure, this is a potential game changer. I mean, a truly massive shift. If we move from a 30-year mortgage being the standard to a 50-year one, that would completely change how we think about everything. How we think about debt, about building wealth through a home, even how we plan for retirement. It would affect generations. And so that leaves us with the big question, right? Is this 50-year mortgage a lifeline for homebuyers who are just desperate to get into the market? Or is it a 50-year trap that locks people into a lifetime of debt and ends up costing them a fortune? It's a huge, huge deal, and it's definitely something we all need to keep an eye on as this whole debate unfolds.